It's official then. Football Manager Touch is available on the Nintendo Switch. For the first time in just over a decade, Football Manager returns to a console, and as you can see on screen, they've gone with the Nintendo Switch. It's an interesting choice, probably the right choice. I think there's other options out there, obviously, but I think this is the best place for it. You've got the handheld version, you can put it on your TV at home as well. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I was lucky enough to be invited down by the guys at Sports Interactive to have a go myself. And what I thought I'd do is challenge myself. The challenge modes are available on the Switch, so I thought we'd have a go at the Invincibles, and we can do sort of a mini-series alongside what we've got going on with Thames at the moment, and we'll do this every so often, and we'll see how we'll get on. We'll see if we can go invincible. The challenge starts halfway through the season. You'll see as we get into it how it all develops. You can see me typing in my name there very officially. But no, thank you to the guys at Sports Interactive. Thank you for watching and allowing me to sort of get into the position where I can even be invited to go down. But no, Football Manager Touch, of course, if you don't know it, it's similar to Football Manager, the main game, but it's a slightly speedier way of playing it. You don't have the extended pre-match build-up, you don't do as much media stuff either. You can whiz through the seasons, and so I think it's great to have sort of on the go, and the Switch obviously offers that more so than the devices we currently use. Of course, Touch is mainly played on tablets and whatnot. So I'll hand over to Football Manager Studio, Ben. Now, there he is, look. Hello there, folks, and welcome to something new on the channel. It's a new game, it's a new console, and it's a new look to Football Manager. Blackburn appoint Benji as manager. I am Benji, so that makes sense. The headline works. Blackburn are yet to taste defeat this season, and the pressure is firmly on manager Dr. Benji to lead his team to an unbeaten campaign. So this is what we're going to have to do then. We're going to have to see if the best team, on paper at least, in the division can go unbeaten this year. That's the dream, that's the hope, that's the ambition. So in this first episode of the mini-series, you can see there, we start in the 4th of March. If we get rid of this lovely little screen here, you can see if we go to the League One table, Switch. So you can see, if you look at the table, 87 points on the board, 26 wins, 9 draws, and Blackburn so far this season are unbeaten. The question is, it's a question that's asked many times in my videos, will he be bottling it? I guess we'll find out right now. It looks as if the championship is confirmed, but with 11 games to go, can we have an unbeaten campaign? That's the question. So far, they've done terrifically well. If we take a look at the squad, you can see it's gone well for them. Quite a lot of draws recently though, so obviously they need me to come in and get them over the line. I can respect that. And of course the big attraction to this particular game on FM Touch is less the team and more so these little magical beasts. So Football Manager has made its return to console. They're going with the Nintendo Switch. To me it makes the most sense. It's a Sega game. It makes sense that it's in this format, and I think as a portable device, as well as obviously you can put it on your TV at home, it makes sense. And I'm going to have a little go, and we're going to see then how this works out. I'm at FMHQ, Football Manager HQ. I've broken it. They've no idea I'm here. It's worked out brilliantly. That is of course a joke. Alright, this is a serious video. So if you've not played FM Touch before, it is essentially the sort of the beginner's guide almost. I feel like it's the beginner's guide. It's a great way to get into Football Manager, to play Football Manager Touch before you get into perhaps the main game on the PC version. So if you've not tried it before, I do recommend giving it a go, and maybe the Nintendo Switch will be the place for you to do just that. Wasn't even paid to say that, so that's just coming from my brain. So you can see the boys here. If you've seen a Switch before, you'll know the way you've got to use the buttons. You've got to use like the stick on this side, the A, X, Y, B. I was a GameCube child, so I'm very much acquainted with the X, Y, B, A system. I know it's sort of widely used now, but I feel like I've come back home in many ways. You can see there this season, 10 starts for Danny Graham. He's a man that's sort of been on this channel an awful lot. 8 goals for him, looking very good. I'm hoping that Danny will be able to propel us to an unbeaten season. That is the challenge, of course. We're in challenge mode, and we'll see then. Will it be done? Am I capable? I think that we should waste no more time. Let's pick the team and let's get into our first game in this mini-series. Right, if we go to the tactics, you can see I'll ask my assistant to come up with a formation. We'll see what he decides. A 4-4-2. It's a classic. I've just distracted myself looking at the legends of the club. Alan Shearer, Kenny Dalglish there, Tungai. A list of names that I think we're going to appreciate. David Dunn is in icons. He's an icon. Colin Hendry, Tim Sherwood. That's some of the names. Tim Flowers, All right, let's choose the skipper. I think we'll keep Charlie Mulgrew in at captain and Richie Smallwood as his vice. I'm going to mess about too much, So I've got to press the triggers to continue, which I quite like, actually. Obviously, you can bind buttons on the PC version. I put it on my mouse. It's quite similar to having 2 mice. I don't know I feel like I can do all sorts with this. There's so much joy in my life now. If I just started there and picking up injuries, can you believe that? We've got Bristol Rovers as our first game. Right, we're going to have to pick the team then, get involved and see what's cracking. I'm about to put my managerial debut, it said there. That puts the pressure on straight away. Tim Sherwood's pointing out threats for other players, right? Then Harrison's a threat apparently. I mean, I'll be aware of that. Right then, team selection. Let's get involved. This could be a very short. If I lose straight away, this could be a very short series. I think we want to finish this at sort of a bit of a canter, really. Right, I was thinking 4-4-2. I think I'm actually going to change this up actually and play more of a 4-2-3-1 system. No, I'm keeping it somewhat traditional. Right, let's make sure we've got these boys doing what they want to do. If he wants to be a ball-winning player, he can be a ball winner. Right, let him do what he wants. Bradley Dack slightly further forwards as the support playmaker. He's going to be feeding Danny Graham like nobody's business. I've never really played with Danny Graham in his natural habitat of the team he actually plays for. Something new for me. I mean, at least it's fun. All right, Charlie Mulgrew wants to be a ball-playing stopper. Let him do it, Ben. Don't hold him back. He wants to be a defensive fullback, not on my Nelly. Right, in terms of team's instructions, actually, do you know what, Bennett? You're not that attacking, mate. Calm yourself down a little bit. Right, then I think with the team that we've got, we should be exploiting the flanks. We should work it into the box. When you've got Danny Graham, it's a fox in the box sort of character, folks. Get him in there, see how it goes. Right then, let's get into this first game. It's Bristol Rovers versus Blackburn. It could all come crashing down very early for you. I think that's the tension element to this, and it'll be a bit embarrassing if in the location that I'm currently in. If I cock this right up, I'll be thrown out, and I can't take that sort of risk, frankly. So I'm risk averse. Right, for this series as well, I'm going to be using the 3D. So this is going to be. I'm intrigued to see what it looks like. This is very much my first hands-on approach to this game, so I'm fascinated to see how it all comes across. So we're enjoying this sort of together, right? You see the teams there laid out nicely for this League One fixture at the Memorial Ground in Bristol. Bristol Rovers versus Blackburn. This could only go well, in my opinion. Okay, and the games then do indeed begin. Exciting times, as you can see. We're knocking it around like nobody's business. I mean, it's a tentative start to this series. So far, little action, but I don't know if that's a good thing or not, really. We're away from home, and it's the lesser side. I ordinarily struggle in this sort of environment. Okay, we're involved, we're invested, and you can see we're on the ball here, bringing it forward by Carl Bennett. It's hit the head of Danny Graham, I think. Is that the first effort of the series? We'll take that. A sign of things to come, perhaps. The ball's going back and forth at this point, really. We're not seeing too much of it. As finally, we've got maybe a chance for us. Ball's come out to Smallwood on this side. He plays it over to Chapman. If you can find that Danny Graham's lurking in the area, it goes to Smallwood instead. Oh, he kicks it over the bar. Disappointing effort, if we're being honest. Now, admittedly, in this series, I could just draw every episode. I could just draw every game. Could just be a bunch of draws. And I'll be honest, viewers, I'll be happy with that, because then if it's good enough for Arsenal, it's good enough for me. 35 minutes on the clock. And still level terms. Bristol have got to be panicking, though. Come on, we're coming here as the Invincibles, essentially. The tension's high, the pressure's on. 41 minutes gone. As we get closer to half time, this is fascinating stuff. Chapman on it again, and we seem to be working everything good so far. Seems to be going through him and Bradley Dack now. Finally, Bradley Dack. He's stacked it right up. Right, as we get to half time, I mean, Bradley Dack's on a 6.2, he's letting everybody down. There's an unbeaten run at stake here. I'm hoping I can make that point to them. Now, of course, in touch, you can't do half-time team talks, but that might prove to be a good thing. I mean, people that have seen my team talks in the past know they're never the best. Just a sea of red a lot of the time. So tactically, we might have to make some changes at some point. We may change up the philosophy. I think we're going to go slightly more attacking in this half. As the bigger team, the better team, we'll see how we get on. I just noticed there, by the way, it's Bennett, Elliot Bennett versus Kyle Bennett. The Bennetts are facing off. It's Bennett squared. Is that I hope that's not counted, because that's embarrassing. Bradley Dack's having a shocker. I mean, he's going to have to come off sooner rather than later. Peter Whittingham's going, get me in there, Chief. Get me in there. I'm thinking about it, Peter. I'm thinking about it. This would be an entirely underwhelming but somewhat predictable start to the series. It's a chance for us again. Dack on the edge. Will he finally strike gold? No, he won't. Get him off. All right, we'll make a quick substitution. Bradley Dack, I've seen enough of him. Peter Whittingham isn't necessarily a natural in this role, right? But he's got all the attributes required to do well in there. I remember his time at Cardiff; he was very good. So I'm basing it mainly off that. He's got a wonderful left foot, as Peter, and he loves a pantomime. Does Peter Whittingham? I tell you, how's that Dick Whittington? Hang on, 20 minutes to go, and I mean, I'll say this openly. We've been poor. Let's stop working it into the box so much, and let's go slightly more direct. When you've got Danny Graham, direct is potentially the only way forward. They just about get it clear. I don't know if this is because we're making changes. As Payne into Chapman, a chance maybe. Oh, again, the side netting is getting a pounding, and Downing at the back is struggling big time. I think on 53%, it's time to make the change. Lenahan's coming on instead. We'll see if he can do the business. Duty calls, you know. When you get yourself an injury, you've got to make the change, right? You can't sit on it. Danny Graham is on a 6.2. I mean, a 6.2, Daniel. Do you bring Armstrong on? 10 minutes to go. I think you do. Let's get Danny off. Danny, come with me. Right, Adam Armstrong is coming on. I mean, he's got the name of a man that's ready for action. Danny's let me down big time there, and whether I trust him again in future episodes, I don't know. The time is ticking down. It's ticking. It's almost gone. 4 minutes of injury time. Will we start with a win? We've dominated the game. We look at that. Shots have been firing in, but it looks as if it's going to be an underwhelming beginning. As I mean, it could be the most disheartening beginning you've ever seen. As it's cleared by Peter Whittingham. I mean, one of the best clearances I've ever seen, and that is going to wrap things up. It's 0-0. I'm so excited about a new series. It's on a Switch. Look at this. Look at all this. This is all this new stuff. I mean, it's exciting, isn't it? I'm excited, and I've ruined it with a 0-0. Right then, this series will be cropping up every so often. We may do some more stuff on the Twitch as well if you're keen for it. If you enjoyed this first episode, though, do leave a like. The unbeaten streak continues, and I will see you another time for some more. If you're going for 1,000 likes to this one, why not? Slap it on there. New game, we've got all this stuff over here that you can see it all kicking off. I mean, financially, how are we looking? I love the finances. I'm a big fan of finance. 6 million in the balance. I'm a dreamer. And there we are then. I'm sure it's gonna create questions in the comment section. If you've got any questions about the Nintendo Switch and Football Manager, be on it. Leave it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. If not, I'll direct you by way of Football Manager on Twitter. But again, thank you to the guys for inviting me down. This series will be out every couple of days for the next few weeks, and hopefully it's something you'll enjoy alongside what we've got. It's not a change up. We're not replacing it with anything. It's just something else for your eyes to watch if you fancy. If not, that's fine. I'll see you again soon. We love you with care. Goodbye.